Happy New Year and welcome to Foldit Lab Report number 16. I'm BKEP, recording this remotely from home with my colleague Ian H. We are hoping that 2021 will be much better than the last year. If this is your first time tuning into the Foldit Lab Reports, we've released these videos on the first of every month to update Foldit players on the research that goes on behind the scenes after you finish playing Foldit puzzles. In the news, we want to talk about the exciting breakthrough from AlphaFold 2. If you've been following the tech news, you've probably heard about Google making a big splash in biology research with a new algorithm for protein structure prediction called AlphaFold 2. AlphaFold 2 is developed by a group called DeepMind, which is a part of Alphabet, who owns Google. DeepMind is best known for designing AIs that can play very challenging games like chess and Go. But DeepMind is not satisfied just to work on games. They want to use artificial intelligence to make a big impact on scientific research. So a couple of years ago, in 2018, DeepMind used an algorithm called a neural network to predict protein structures. They called this AlphaFold. And they entered AlphaFold into a protein structure prediction competition called CASP. CASP is a competition where researchers from around the world can compete to try to predict protein structures. The structures of these proteins have not been published yet, so the researchers don't know the correct answer, but the judges do, so that they can correctly analyze and evaluate everyone's predictions. In the 2018 CASP competition, AlphaFold outpaced all other prediction techniques, showing that artificial intelligence can bring fresh insights to the field of protein folding. And now they've done it again. In the 2020 CASP competition, DeepMind announced an even bigger breakthrough with their new neural network called AlphaFold 2. DeepMind has not yet shared the details of exactly how they did this, but once they do publish their work, we'll be sure to post a discussion on the Foldit blog. So why did DeepMind choose protein folding of all the possible scientific challenges to work on first? Well, Demis Hassabis, one of the co-founders of DeepMind, actually cites Foldit as part of his inspiration for tackling this problem.
There was this game called Foldit, where some people had created a puzzle game out of proteins, and gamers played on this puzzle game, and what they were doing was actually trying to turn the protein into a particular shape. That made me think again about, well, AI could maybe try to mimic that intuitive capability that those gamers were demonstrating.
Congratulations to Demis and his team. We are very excited and can't wait to apply their insights to Foldit to make it even better. Protein structure prediction is just one of the many problems in the field of protein research, but there are still many of other unsolved problems, and our weekly Foldit puzzles are an example of those. So we need you, the Foldit player community, now more than ever. And with that, we move to our latest puzzle updates. Our first puzzle update is the MERS coronavirus binder design puzzles. In December, we finished round 7 of these MERS binder puzzles. The challenge in these puzzles is to design a protein binder that could block infection from the MERS respiratory coronavirus. We've seen some great binder designs from Foldit players in these puzzles and are gearing up to test some of those in the lab. So be sure to check in future lab report videos for updates. In our second puzzle update, we brought back the two-sided interface design problem. We last saw this puzzle in October. In these puzzles, we want to create a way for two proteins to stick together in a very precise orientation. Unlike the MERS spike binder design puzzles, in the two-sided interface design, we have control over both sides of the protein interface. And this gives us a lot more freedom to design tight binding interactions between the two protein chains. The key to these puzzles is keeping the proper distance and orientation between the two protein chains that we want to stick together. In our third puzzle update, we saw a lot more designable linker puzzles in December. These designable linker problems are very similar to the two-sided interface, where we want to preserve the correct distance and orientation between two pieces of protein. But unlike the interface problems, the designable linker fuses two protein chains into a single large protein. In these puzzles, we're trying to improve proteins that have antiviral activity against the coronavirus. By linking two binders together, we effectively create one big protein with two binding sites for the coronavirus spike, and this could improve antiviral activity. And that brings us to the design of the month. This month, we have a design from NSPC from puzzle 1927. This is one of our designable linker puzzles. So here we have in gray these two segments on the bottom that represent parts of the coronavirus spike. And then we have these two helical bundles, and these are existing binders that we want to fuse together into a single protein. NSPC has designed this bright green domain in the middle that will link these two binders. We really like NSPC's solution here because it creates a core both within the linker, but also spanning the interface between the binder and the linker on both sides. If we look at the side chains, then we see that there's a lot of orange buried residues where the linker meets the binder domains. These buried orange residues will help keep the entire protein well folded into a single rigid shape, as opposed to a protein with hinge regions that can flop around. This is really good to see. These look like very strong hydrophobic cores. Let's see, there is maybe a couple of concern areas where we have buried polar atoms that might not be able to make their required hydrogen bonding. We might need to include the buns objective in future puzzles. But by and large, this looks like a very, very promising design from NSPC. Lots of secondary structure, a very, very strong hydrophobic core that spans the entire length of the protein, and also looks like good, short, stable loops connecting all of the alpha helices in this protein. So this is a great job from NSPC. We hope to see many more linker designs like this with a strong hydrophobic core and lots of secondary structure. We love to see the protein designs that you are most excited about. So if you'd like to be featured in one of these videos, please share with scientists your favorite designs in all of our design puzzles. That's all we have for this video. As always, thanks for watching, thanks for playing, and we'll see you next time.